each spider now just randomly picks a direction and moves along it. Once it collides with the borders of the table, it will find the vector that's at a right angle to the way it was moving before and turn towards that, so that it moves away from the edge of the table. Hey again guys, welcome back to my dev diary, developing a VR exposure therapy game in Unity. It's episode 5, and gotta be honest, it's been a pretty tough week guys. I had been wanting at first to kind of pick a task for each week and then more or less get that finished and get a video done with a nice kind of bow on the end of it. And that's worked so far. In episode 1, we looked at our prototypes and worked out our requirements. In episode 2, we prototyped our VR point-and-click user interface. Episode 3, we designed our architecture. Episode 4, we built that architecture, at least the bits that we're going to be needing for the moment. But now that we're getting into the more kind of meaty parts of the project, it's definitely getting harder to predict how long each task will take. So this episode, I have been wanting to get one of the 10 spider levels done. So that's all the code behind the behavior of the spider and the interaction with the player, the game mechanics, the scoring system for that particular level. As it turns out, I've pretty much spent all the time just working on the pathing algorithm for the spiders, because that's turned out to be a lot more complicated than I originally expected. So what I basically want is more or less what we had in the prototype, where we had a bunch of spiders all kind of scuttling around the table and never falling off that table. Now, you may have noticed here that all the spiders are just clipping right through each other. That's because they haven't got any code to tell them to check if they're going to be in each other's way and avoid each other if they are. So that is pretty much what I was looking to improve. I was kind of expecting this to be a pretty small adjustment to the code, and I was very wrong. So how these spiders work is they randomly select a position within the bounds of the table and then walk towards it. Once they arrive at that position, they wait for a random amount of time, select a new position and walk towards that. The spider never falls off the table because its target position is always within the edges of that table. With just one spider, that works fine, but with all of them at once, not so much. So my first idea was to attach a collider to each spider, and extend those colliders out beyond the mesh of the model, like this. Then, when those colliders overlap, one of the spiders keeps moving and the other stops and waits for the first one to be out of the way. I would give each spider a unique priority rating, which would determine which spider would be the one to stop and wait. Now, what you may have noticed is that this system will only work some of the time. Say if you had two spiders like this that were going to collide head-on, for example, one of the spiders stops and the other one keeps moving forward and clips right through its spider friend, which is exactly what we're trying to avoid. It seems that rather than just having each spider stop and wait, we'll need to program some actual avoidance behavior so the spiders turn away from each other when they get too close. We'd need some script that coordinates all the spiders into a big kind of flock so that they all work together. Then I remembered that I'd actually been playing around with something like this a few months ago. So here in this little messing around project, we have this flock of white birds. They're actually called boids, but don't worry about it. They move around in this big group and the white ones all kind of flock together and head in the same direction. We also have these red birds that the white ones will try and avoid. Now it's this avoidance behavior that we want from our spiders. So how does this work? Well, each one of these birds has this script attached. It loops through all the red birds, calculates the vector between the bird the script is attached to and the red bird we're looking at, and if it's too close, it will turn towards the opposite of that vector, meaning it turns away from that red bird. So I started trying to apply this to the spiders, but that did mean changing some of the movement code that was already there. Instead of having a randomly selected target position like before, each spider now just randomly picks a direction and moves along it. Once it collides with the borders of the table, it will find the vector that's at a right angle to the way it was moving before and turn towards that, so that it moves away from the edge of the table. This way, when it gets too close to a spider, it doesn't have a rigid target position to reach. It will just keep walking in whatever direction it was going in after turning away from the spider. Now, most of the time this works absolutely fine. The problematic case is when a spider gets caught between a spider it's trying to avoid and the edges of the table. If the spider needs to turn away from the edge of the table, it can't also be turning away from the other spider, as that will mean it will fall off the edge. And when I say fall, I actually mean float off into space, because we haven't got gravity yet. The solution that I've been trying is to get the spider that's turning away from the edge of the table to just stop and wait, and for the other one to turn in the opposite direction like this. Once the spider turning away is out of the collision range, the one that's waiting goes back to turning away from the border. There's also the case of, well, what if they're both in the process of turning away from the border? And for that, I'm doing pretty much the same priority idea as before, which I'm hoping should be a rare enough case to not really worry about too much. If the occasional spider clips through another spider, then that's kind of fine. I just don't want it happening all the time. Like I said before, this whole thing has taken a lot longer than what I was expecting. There's also a lot of other considerations like the animations. When the spider stops to wait for another spider, it should pause its animation and then remember to resume it again once that spider is out of the way and it starts moving again. Which, as you can probably see, isn't always working properly. Also, the animation speed should match up to the movement speed, otherwise the spider looks like it's kind of sliding along the table. So there's a lot of stuff like that that has taken a while to sort of figure out and get right. And all that means that after over a week, I still haven't actually got this pathing algorithm fully working yet. The current problem is that for some reason the spiders have a habit of getting themselves confused at the table borders and walking into space rather than turning away from the edge of the table. Not super sure what that's about. The very last thing I tried is having the spiders turn towards the center of the table by referencing the position of the center table object rather than just moving away from the edges at right angles like I said before. But that just broke a bunch of stuff. So I thought, okay, at this point, let's just get a video out and update you guys on my progress because it looks like I still have a fair amount of work to do here. Again, I would love to tie off each episode with a neat little bow, but I think the reality is that sometimes a video is going to end with, I haven't got this working yet, but I'm getting there. And this is one of those times. I think I might just end up deleting this entire script and starting again from scratch now I've got the benefit of more hindsight. So I'm not going to go through all of it here in detail, but you will be able to find it in the repo linked below, and if you're watching that in the future, that is the commit on the 13th of August 2020. That's all for this week, guys. Go enjoy the sun, and I will catch you guys next time.